My dear students, now we will see about vegetative reproduction in leaves. In some plants, roots will produce new plant. Roots function as the organs of vegetative reproduction. In some of the plant, stems, part of the stem used for vegetative reproduction. But in some plants, the leaves are used as a vegetative part for vegetative reproduction. In some of the plant, naturally advantageous buds may develop on the leaves. Some of the buds, axillary buds or advantageous buds produced at the axil of the leaf or on the margin of the leaf or at the middle of the leaf lamina. The buds may be produced that will grow into a new plant later. For example, in the case of Bryophyllum, Scilla, Begonia. In these three plants, vegetative reproduction takes place through the leaves. Say for example, in the case of Bryophyllum, there are notches on the margin of the leaf. From the notches of the leaf, buds may be produced, advantageous buds. They grow into a new plant after maturity. This is the Bryophyllum leaf. A number of notches, these are all the notches. In the notches, young plant will be produced by bud. A bud will be produced, this is the advantageous bud. The advantageous bud grow into a very young plant. This young plant fall away from the parent leaf. From the leaf, this young plant separated fall on the ground and grow into a new plant. This is the means of vegetative reproduction as far as Bryophyllum is concerned. When any bud is produced on the leaf, on the surface of the leaf, on the margin of the leaf, or at the tip of the leaf, that is called epiphyllous bud. Epiphyllous buds means when any bud produced on the margin of the leaf or at the middle of the leaf lamina or at the tip of the leaf lamina, and that gives rise to a new plant later, that is called epiphyllous buds. What are epiphyllous buds? When a bud develops from the leaf lamina, from any part of the leaf lamina, and that grow into a new plant later, that is called epiphyllous buds. The epiphyllous buds can be seen in Bryophyllum, in Scilla, and also in Begonia. In Bryophyllum, the epiphyllous buds are produced on the notches of the leaf. This is the notches of the leaf. From the notches of the leaf, bud may produce, that bud is called epiphyllous bud that grow into a new plant. In the case of chilla, in chilla, the leaf is long. It has very long leaf. When the leaf touches the ground, it produces young plant. So at the tip of the leaf, epiphyllous bud is produced. These epiphyllous bud grow into a new plant. So as far as chilla is concerned, the leaf tip produces epiphyllous bud. Here the leaf is very long and narrow. At the tip of the leaf, new plant may produce when the tip touches the ground, touches the soil, that develops into a new plant. As far as chilla is concerned, the chilla is a bulbous plant, bulb producing plant. It has the main characteristic feature, it has narrow leaves and long leaves. Begonia. In begonia, the leaves are produced from the middle of the leaf lamina. From the middle of the leaf lamina, epiphyllous bud produced. From the epiphyllous bud, young plant will be produced. So that is about vegetative reproduction in leaves. In the case of Bryophylla, chilla, and begonia, the leaf will produce new plant. That is the peculiarity in these three cases. That is. Come to the advantages of natural vegetative reproduction. What are the advantages? There are 4 advantages given in this book. One is, in the vegetative reproduction, natural vegetative reproduction, only one plant, one parent is required for propagation. But in the case of sexual reproduction, 2 parents are required, male parent and female parent. Male parent produce male gamete and female parent will produce female gamete. Male and female gamete unite and form zygote that develops into new plant, new young plant, embryo, then new young plant. That is the procedure in sexual reproduction. But here, any one of the plant may give rise to new plant vegetatively by means of the root, by means of the stem, or by means of the leaf. Any part of the plant may produce a new plant. As far as this natural vegetative reproduction is concerned. Second advantage, new plants are genetically identical. Plants which are produced through vegetative reproduction all are alike, genetically identical. That is the second point. Third point, in some plants, vegetative reproduction is very rapid. So the plants spread rapidly. Say for example, in the case of spinifex, rapid vegetative reproduction. Takes place. First vegetative reproduction takes place in the case of spinifex. The fourth point, all the horticulturists, the person practice in the garden cultivation, and also In the management of the garden, that is horticulturist. Horticulture means art of science, art of practicing science in the garden cultivation and management of the garden. It is the culture, horticulture is defined as the agriculture of plants, is a part of the agriculture mainly for food materials, food yielding plants, comfort and beauty for decoration. That is the horticulture. In most of the horticulture, the vegetative reproduction mainly involved in order to produce new plants. So that is the next one. So in large scale, vegetative reproduction, production of new plants in large scale is taking place in all the horticultural activities. Horticulturists and farmers utilize vegetative parts of the plants for cultivation of plants and harvest of the plants in large scale only by this method. This method is followed. What's the disadvantage? Genetic variation cannot be found in the propagated plants. Vegetatively propagated plants, no genetic variation can be seen. All the plants will be uniform, genetically uniform. That is the only disadvantage in vegetatively propagated plants. In vegetative reproduction, these are all the advantages and disadvantages of vegetative reproduction.